All right, LD MMAC. This your boy, the Coach Show Live, live on the Coach Show, the Coach Show Live. Okay, guys, when you look at this video, what do you see? What do you really see? Most of you already know what you see. All of you know. Most of y'all know what you see right now. Okay, and it's obvious what you really see because I see it. But here's the thing, man. In the last 5 days, I've counted 6 articles on Jon Jones. 6. And there are more. There are more articles than that, but I've counted 6, just for me getting tired of looking. But I counted 6. But there are more than that. I'm talking about 6 different articles. Not the same article, I'm talking about different articles about Jon Jones. Now, I'm one of these people, I don't condone, okay? I'm not a proponent of condoning violence against women. I don't condone that. And I vehemently just can't stand it. I hate it with a passion. I hate it with a passion when a woman is getting beat up by a man. I don't like it. But here's the thing, man. I don't condone Jon Jones' actions. If he did put his hands on this woman, whatever happens to him under the law needs to happen to him. It's just what it is. But I look at this and, I searched. I saw 8 different articles on Jon Jones in the last 5 days. 8. But I go back and I do some history. I go back and look at a Platinum Mike Perry situation. I can only find one. No, I found 3. But really, it was the same article that was copied and pasted from publication to publication. And then there was nothing else about it. There was no follow-up. There was nothing. The article where Mike Perry, stalked his ex-girlfriend. He put hands on her. Or, I wanted to see more information on Mike Perry when he went to that bar, punched that old man, and put his hands on that girl. Assaulted a woman in that bar, too. He assaulted his ex-girlfriend, okay? He assaulted a woman in the bar. But there's not much on it. Matter of fact, you get the first initial article, that's it. Okay? You get that initial article, that's it. Can't find another one. Jon Jones, I found, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4. I found 8 different articles on Jon Jones. Different. Found 8. They still talking about this. Man, they still talking about this now. And then, moreover, you can find new articles talking about what Jon Jones did like 3 years ago, 4 years ago. They don't do that to Mike Perry. And here's the difference. Mike Perry, and y'all remember when Mike Perry just went on that N-word rant? And old media, they swept that up under the rug. But the coach ain't going to do it. Y'all know the coach ain't going to do it. Y'all know the coach going to call it out. I'm going to keep calling it out. And people say, man, Mike Perry could call you the N-word to your face. What are you going to do? Mike Perry might be an MMA fighter. The man can fight inside of an octagon. The man can fight. He ain't gonna put it. He can take a hit. But he can take a hit from a fist. Of course he can. But not a lead pipe. And, okay, I won't incriminate myself online, but you get it? Because, see, you don't know who you're going to encounter in the street. The thing of it is, Mike Perry, okay? He's that dude, right? He say the N-word so much. Isn't it funny how Mike Perry can run around here and say I'm black, and so he started using the N-word, okay? But he gets to have the full advantage of privilege. And that's something. I know, damnest thing you ever heard, right? The only man that can say he black but get privilege. That's Mike Perry. Because Mike Perry been getting a whole hell of a lot of privilege. They ain't even talking about this guy. Okay? When did Chael Sonnen making video after video after video about Jon Jones. Big Dumb McCarthy, now he back talking about how Jon Jones messed up and, Jon Jones. And he was talking about how Jon Jones, he need to be really just banned from MMA. And I'm like, banned? But then ain't none of these people talking about Conor McGregor. I told you that privilege is something, boy. That privilege is something to behold. And they're not talking about Mike Perry. They're not. See, Mike Perry, he's a guy that really has some problems and he need to be helped. Nah, when they talk about Jon Jones, he ain't got no problems. He don't need to be helped. The man just need to be arrested. And I noticed that most of the white media outlets, that's what they're saying. Most of the white media outlets are saying the exact same thing. Most of them, not all of them. But most of them are saying the same thing. When it come to people like Conor McGregor, it's a marketing tactic. Hey, it's going to bring a lot of publicity. Conor shouldn't have did it, but man, it's going to bring publicity. When it come to Mike Perry, oh, well, he's a guy that's got some substance abuse problems. Mike need to get him some help. But when it come to John Jones, yeah, well, John Jones need to get help, but, John Jones need to be arrested to the full extent of the law. John Jones need to be banned from MMA. Like, they want to see the man banned from trying to feed his family and make a living. I get it. I get it. Now, I don't condone his action. I don't condone the actions of any woman beater. I don't condone it. And I'm not a John Jones fan. Let's not get this video misconstrued. I ain't no John Jones fan. But, guys, people that sit here and they deny that old media outlets are harder on people of color, if they deny that, then you're just as racist as the people that's being racist. When people come and say, hey, no, man, it's not even about race, man. John he just messed up on a whole level, on a whole level. Hey, man, John gotta pay for the consequences. Well, Platinum Piss Perry gotta pay for his consequences. But it just seems like he's not paying for them. Yeah, I mean, he'll get it. They'll take his mugshot. And have y'all noticed too that when Platinum Piss Perry get it, it just go away. It magically go away. It just go away. And media, they completely ignore the fact that this man is running. Look, man, he's causing a terror. Everywhere he go, this man is causing havoc. Everywhere he go. Everywhere he go. And then they talk about what John Jones head-butted a police cruiser. Mike Perry done did damages. Thousands of dollars of damages. When he have fights and the fights break out. Did damage in that bar. Did damage in the darn bar. Ain't nobody talking about the damage he did in that bar. See, man, I get so tired of the same thing, but what I do, I just go ahead. When you start defending, like if you gonna tell me about John Jones, then you better be telling me about McGregor. If you gonna tell me about John Jones, you better start telling me about Mike Perry. I mean, listen, you got to start putting these guys in the same breath. Because when you come and say, with John Jones, he's an idiot, John Jones. Okay, fine. I could agree with all that. But you better say, but also, so is Mike Perry. But also, so is Conor McGregor. But also, so is War Machine, who's in jail. Boy, that story blew over, didn't it? Mayhem Miller, that guy. Yep, that story blew over. And isn't it funny too, man? I'm talking, they still talking about stuff John Jones did 8 years ago, man. Like, it's crazy. They still talking about the dog fighting incident that Michael Vick did years ago. He's already served his time. He's already, served his punishment for that. But it's like old media, man. They still talking about stuff, that stuff that Mike Vick did. Still talking about it. Allen Iverson can't escape that whole thing about, man, it's just practice. This is practice. We talking about the game. This is practice. They villainize him over that. Which I don't think that's the worst thing. But, blacks, we're constantly villainized. We're constantly villainized in every aspect. And being villainized, some people like it. Some people don't mind being villainized. But we can definitely see here, it's a clear-cut double standard. I don't even like the word double standard. It's just clear-cut racism, man. That's all it is. It's clear-cut racism. You see the black guy, so you want to put him out there, okay? And you see the white guy doing the same thing. And, see, the white guy reminds you of your son. It reminds you of your dad. Remind these guys of their uncles. It reminds them of their kids. So they're not going to be so quick to try to drop the hammer on these guys. Because these guys, they remind them of people that they love in their family. And then people always talking about, man, we need sensitivity training. And, sensitivity, I keep telling y'all about sensitivity training. Sensitivity training ain't going to help nothing, y'all. It ain't going to help nothing. Sensitivity training ain't going to help nothing, okay? Because if somebody hates you, if they hate you enough, them being sensitive to anything, they're not going to be sensitive to you because they don't like you. Does everybody understand that? Nobody's going to be sensitive to you if they can't stand you, if they hate you, if they detest the ground you walk on. They're not going to be sensitive to you. I don't believe in sensitivity training. There's no such thing when people hate you. And people always tell me, Coach, you don't think a person can change? Like, Jasmine Crawford, I interviewed her a couple times, and she told me on the whole Joe Rogan situation, Coach, you don't think people change? I said, I think people can change. He goes, Are you not the same person you were 20 years ago? And I'm like, no, I'm not. I said, but 20 years ago, I wasn't living in a house where my mom preached me to hate a person because of how they look. Or my mom, preached to me, I wasn't living in a house growing up where my mom told me that a certain race was bad every day of the week. We weren't raised like that. We were raised to respect people, and we were raised to respect the person based on what they do to you, based on how they treat you. That's what I was raised. That's how I was raised completely. But thing of it is, though, see, if you've been in your house 18 years of your life, and your parents teaching you the same thing, you mean to tell me all of a sudden now, because he got caught, he's changed his ways? Why didn't he apologize? Why didn't he really give a heartfelt apology? Why didn't he really give it when it first happened? Because he was racist. See, why didn't all this time just go by before India Reid even put that video out? How about why didn't Ho Rogan do it a month ago before India Reid put that stuff out? Because he didn't have no intention to do it, because he got caught. Why didn't he do it? Because it didn't matter, it wasn't important. See, when racist people, they get caught, and they get caught doing what they do the typical thing. They try to apologize and, try to, garner sympathy from people. But that, we smarter than that. We know that this is all about race. It's always been about race. And unfortunately, for the next decades or the next century, that's what it's going to be about. Unfortunately, you know what? We'll probably all be gone. Before anything comes to fruition. We're going to all be gone. We're going to all be dead and gone before there's even a dent in this. And I think really it's going to get worse. I think the racism problem in America everywhere is just going to get worse. It's going to get worse, worse, and worse. It's going to get worse. And you know what? People are still going to make excuses for racism, okay? People are still going to apologize for these people instead of actually instead of actually taking these people and just completely disowning these people, disassociating from these people. See, the way you beat racism, the way you beat it, is if you take each of these people one by one, you take them all one by one, and you disassociate yourself with them, and you cut them off at the head, and guess what happens? See, these people begin to lose their effect on the world. But yeah, so go ahead. Everybody can think they can pull the wool over my eyes, or anybody, but they can't pull it over mine. This is about race, okay? Point blank. This is about race. It's funny, man, because John Jones, I've never seen John Jones just do anything crazy, or like racially crazy. John Jones has always accepted everybody. His fiance white, but the media, they got to remind John Jones that you black.